I love you, here's the ring. And it always led to bed.
No way!
And
hello, what's the crack? What's the story? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for coming back. We're doing part 3 of this GEES documentary. This is where I came in. I can't wait to see what happens next. Let's go! Subscribe if you're liking it.
An undeniable strength of the Bee Gees has always been their songwriting. Like John Lennon and Paul McCartney, the brothers, sometimes working separately, sometimes together, were quickly proving to be prolific composers.
Every time they would write something, they would play it to me, that I would analyse very carefully with them. And there were no holes barred at all, just an open debate, which I would normally win.
I think there's an affinity between the Bee Gees and the Beatles, particularly with their early material, in the linking of very good hooks, very good melodies, which stick in the mind. And that in itself is an extraordinarily difficult thing to do.
You had to listen to these songs once they came on. You had to listen to them because they were very, very magnetic. And they cast a spell in a way that was very piercing in its personal directness.
Smile, an everlasting smile. Her smile can bring you near to me. Don't ever let me find you gone, 'cause that would bring a tear to me.
Barry had emerged as the sex symbol of the group. He was as irresistible to women as they were to him.
I would always carry rings in my pocket so that I'd be able to say to that girl, I love you, here's the ring. And it always led to bed. And,
no way!
And that was just I was a rogue. Yes, I was a rogue, I admit it.
I like his honesty. I like that. I really like that.
But once I saw Linda, there was only one ring. I met Linda at Top of the Pops. Linda was chosen to be the hostess the week that we were on and the week that Massachusetts was #1. And I saw her across the studio with a sash, I think it said Miss Edinburgh. And I remember thinking, that girl is devastating.
Scottish.
And I'm going to be my usual self. I'm going straight over to that girl and do something about it.
Shortly after meeting Linda, Barry and Robert Stigwood traveled to California on business, but business wasn't on Barry's mind. Right after checking into the Beverly Hills Hotel, Barry told Stigwood that he was going home.
And he said, what? You can't go back to England, we've just arrived. There's things you have to do, there's a whole schedule. And I said, but you don't understand. Or maybe you do understand, Robert, that this is the girl, this is the one. I've got to go back. I've got to find her.
Oh!
I can vouch for the fact that love at first sight happens.
Oh,
and
bless.
Most certainly happened to me.
Ooh, you're a holiday.
Barry wasn't the only Bee Gee falling in love. On December 12, 1968, with clamoring press and fans on hand, Robin and Molly married. A few months later, on February 17, 1969, in what was the pop wedding of the moment, Morris tied the knot with Lulu, one of England's brightest young stars. The Bee Gees' greatest strength had always been their unbreakable family bond. While on the surface everything seemed wonderful, the truth was that success, love, and the trappings of fame were ripping the Bee Gees apart.
I mean, there was a lot of money all of a sudden, and cars, and girlfriends, and, things like that.
Wow.
Your world was upside down. You just went wherever you were supposed to go, and people knew you, and people said hello and shook your hand, and you had no idea why, except that we'd made it, whatever that is,
So our relationship with each other changed a bit, because we were not just kids living together, we've been kids living together with each other right up until the time we arrived, and even after we arrived in England. Now we were becoming men, and we were having thoughts about what men do on their own rather than as a unit.
It's very difficult being successful in the rock and roll business. It's damn sight more difficult to stay successful because the pressures are so great. You're always on demand, you're always at everyone's beck and call. You cannot escape the fame, which is a kind of prison for young people.
We needed that capacity for separate lives, where not everything was based on what the other did.
The tendency always is to say, damn it, I'm a Bee Gee, I'd much rather be Barry, or I'd much rather be Robin, or much rather be Morris. Same with the Beatles, you know. They got sick and tired of being a Beatle. They wanted to be their own people, with their own recognition.
You see that a lot lately with big bands, you know, like One Direction, what are bands? There's a few bands that, in the beginning, obviously, you get so famous, and then you get to a stage where you're like, you know what, I want to just be alone. And that's normal. That's normal. We're humans, so I understand why they're doing this. Makes sense.
As soon as you sort of start to hit the edge of fame, then a sort of entourage emerges for each one, all giving advice, talking to them.
When you're that young and you're having a lot too much too soon, you tend to sort of, you like to have praise, and praise is a wonderful thing when you're a teenager. It kind of makes you feel and do things, it kind of makes you feel superhuman, you know.
Love interests were happening and jealousies were happening. And, you know, I call it just lack of maturity.
To me, a lot of what happened in that breakup was due to too much happening too soon.
It actually broke up.
What happened was drugs.
Pilly, potty and pissy, you know, each one did different drugs or whatever, you know. Robin would take a few pills if Barry smoked a joint or if I had a drink. Mine was booze, all the way.
We stopped knowing each other. We stopped feeling each other's feelings. And that's another lesson, you know. That's what drugs do. That's what drink does.
We lost contact with each other. Me, Barry, and Morris didn't really talk as much as we used to, and therefore, you know, there was a kind of bickering going on.
If Robin said something about me, the same reporter would come to me and say, did you know that Robin said that? And vice versa, you know. I don't think we were mature enough to stop it. I think we enjoyed publicity. So the press would thrive on it, and we thrived on it. So there was all these awful feelings. Conflict all round. But at least it's true, you know? At least no one else can say, oh, this is what happened. I'm telling you what happened, you know? It was, all three of us became isolated.
Wait, how old was Morris when he got married? Let me know, please. Please, let me know. Because I sent an article that said Barry said he was too young to get married. So, I mean, I'm very intrigued. Let me know, please.
And all three of us did things to each other that I think we're all sorry for. So, you know, that's the truth of the matter.
Family groups have a really hard time, as a rule. And in 1969, when the Bee Gees broke up, it was really a family circumstance that had done it.
I think we were all as bad as each other. I don't think you can blame it on one person. I think we were all very selfish at that point.
There's always been two very forceful personalities in the Bee Gees, and that's Barry Gibb and Robin.
Poor old Morris was in the middle. He didn't know what was going on.
Yes, it's the story of my life, really.
Morris found himself on both sides of the escalating battle, torn between the conflicting ambitions of Barry and Robin. And Robin, believing Stigwood was giving Barry more attention, became resentful. With the group about to release their fourth album, the atmosphere surrounding the brothers had become charged with suspicion and distrust.
What really happened is 1st of May, the record was coming out, and everybody sort of went for 1st of May as being the A-side, and Barry was singing the lead on that. And on the other side, there was Lamplight, which Robin was singing the lead. And so Robert chose 1st of May, and thinking he was biased towards Barry, Robin said, that's it, I've had it, because he thought it was done on purpose.
A lot of things had gone down at that time, and we needed time apart to think about them.
And that was one of those moments that we had to realize we've got to be apart for a while. But not that we wanted to, but it just had to be.
Robin quit the group and started work on a solo album. He and Molly became isolated from the family. Disturbed by his erratic behavior, Hugh and Barbara tried to make 19-year-old Robin a ward of the court.
It was kind of a whole strange episode of our lives, that particular. it didn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense now, but it happened. And it was kind of a weird feeling all the time it was happening.
Robin's very first solo single, Saved by the Bell, rose to number 2 on the British charts. Barry and Morris, continuing as the Bee Gees, made Don't Forget to Remember, which also went to number 2.
Wow. Woo! We're cooking. It's getting very interesting. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. That was the third part. Let me know what you like about that that part. What you find interesting in that. Few stuff that kind of, got me thinking was, Morris getting married. I think he got married when he was 19, I think I figured out at the end there. I think it was when he was 19. Let me know, why did they all get married around the same time? Is there like a reason why, that really got to me, like, what? Because at 19-year-old, you're probably one of the famous people in the world. Why are you turning? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think and what the stuff you guys literally catching that. That was so good. Can't wait to do the rest of the parts. Let me know. Keep commenting down below. Subscribe. Push the notification button so you know when I post. I'm trying to do one each day, but you never know. But I'll try my best to post one each day. One of these documentaries each day. But yeah, thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.